You know, when I began thinking about Monarch and Milkweed, it was probably 2010 for me. And at that point in time, there was not a place where I could go to buy native milkweed that I knew of, heard of, could find on the internet. But I remember a gardener asking me, "Do you have milkweed at your house?" And she said, "I have a lot. Would you like to come see my milkweed? And I'll give you some." She said, "You just pull it out of the ground and you plant it." And so I remember visiting with her, and it was, of course, tropical milkweed. And so that was readily available in the nursery business all along. So when people began thinking about helping monarch butterflies, tropical milkweed may have been the only milkweed that was available to them. So I don't want to be too critical about, if you had it, okay, I understand how that came to be. But as we've gone along here, scientists have learned a lot about the tropical milkweed. Some scientists believe that the tropical milkweed being available during the fall migration causes monarch butterflies to fall out of the migration and begin to lay eggs here in Texas, which creates an overwintering population of monarch that are almost always 100% OE infected. Ophrocystic Elektroscirrha is the scientific term for the OE. That is a protozoan that is contracted by butterflies on the tropical milkweed. And so OE is a protozoan that is going to reside on the abdomen or the wings of a monarch butterfly. And as a monarch butterfly flits around a plant seeking a place to lay eggs, those protozoan will be dropped onto the leaves of the milkweed plant. Or when she lays an egg with a sticky egg sac, some of the protozoan will fall off of her onto the egg sac. When the caterpillar emerges, chews its way out of that egg sac, it is going to chew those dormant protozoan, which will then become active once they're in the gut of the caterpillar. And then that caterpillar becomes an OE infected butterfly for the rest of its life. In some cases, depending upon the level of infection, they may not be able to become a butterfly. They may not be able to form a J to begin to go into a chrysalis. They may emerge looking normal, but be missing toepads, which they use to detect nectar and milkweed, or the proboscis is in two pieces when a butterfly emerges, and they need to put that together kind of like a straw, if you could imagine putting two pieces of a drinking straw together. And OE sometimes causes malformations in that proboscis. So you may have a butterfly that looks normal but can never really eat or seek nectar because its proboscis is malformed. We also know that because the tropical milkweed does not die back in the winter, that when spring comes along and the migratory butterflies come, there's this big bushy plant and they lay eggs on it, but a lot of the milkweed leaves have that dormant protozoan just laying there in wait for a caterpillar to eat those leaves. And so in that way, having tropical available for the spring migration can infect the migratory population with the OE protozoan in ways that they weren't previously. So the mother migrates here, does not have OE, but lays eggs on tropical milkweed, which has these dormant protozoan from other infected butterflies, and the caterpillar eats it and then becomes infected. So in that way, tropical milkweed can negatively impact our migratory population, as well as those who fall out and remain in the area in the winter.